A lot of people in Northern Virginia are making one major mistake right now. They think staying in their current home is the safe decision. But sometimes staying quietly becomes the riskiest decision of all. Not financially necessarily, emotionally, physically, lifestyle-wise, relationally. And I'm seeing this happen constantly right now in Arlington, Alexandria, Fairfax, McLean, Springfield, Vienna. People are sitting in homes that no longer fit their lives, but they can't emotionally justify moving because they're locked into 2.75% mortgages, low property taxes, familiarity, or the fear of uncertainty. So they wait and wait and wait, even though the house feels heavier every year, the commute drains them, the maintenance exhausts them, the stairs are becoming harder, or the house simply no longer matches the next chapter of life. And here is what is fascinating. After over 20 years in Northern Virginia real estate, and also having an attorney background, I've noticed something. The most expensive housing mistakes people make are often not mathematical mistakes. They're delayed life mistakes. People wait 5 years too long, 10 years too long, sometimes 15 years too long to make a move they already emotionally knew they needed to make. And by then, they're older, the house is older, the stress is bigger, and the move feels emotionally overwhelming. This video is not now's a great time to buy or sell. Honestly, I think people are tired of generic real estate videos like that. This is a deeper conversation. This is about the hidden cost of staying, the hidden cost of selling, why intelligent people freeze, why fear disguises itself as logic, and how to evaluate your life, not just your mortgage rate. Because the true cost of staying versus selling usually has very little to do with what people think it does. One of the reasons housing decisions become so emotionally complicated in Northern Virginia is because homes here become deeply tied to identity. People don't just say, I live in Northern Virginia. They say, Old Town, Delray, Lyon Village, McLean, Vienna, Great Falls, North Arlington, and each area carries an emotional identity, a social rhythm, a psychological vibe. Arlington buyers often think very differently than Alexandria buyers. That's real. Arlington buyers are often efficiency-oriented, career-oriented, transit-oriented, schools ranking-oriented, and spreadsheet-oriented. Alexandria buyers are often buying more of an emotional lifestyle rhythm, charm, walkability, restaurants, architecture, patios, gas lanterns, community, and emotional atmosphere. Neither is better, but they are psychologically different, and understanding that matters enormously when evaluating whether to stay, whether to move, and what people are actually emotionally attached to. And once identity becomes attached to a home, logic alone no longer drives decisions. That's why two people can own nearly identical houses, yet one person feels this still fits our life beautifully, and another quietly feels trapped. And by the way, if you enjoy these deeper psychological conversations about Northern Virginia lifestyle, aging, transitions, housing psychology, and how real estate decisions affect actual quality of life, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, because honestly, that's increasingly what this channel is becoming about. Not just here's a kitchen renovation, but how do people actually create a better life here in Northern Virginia? Most people evaluate homes almost entirely through finances, rates, square footage, appreciation. The emotional experience of a home matters a lot. And I think people underestimate this, especially analytical people. Analytical people tend to overvalue measurable costs while undervaluing emotional friction. The problem usually develops slowly, almost invisibly. A house that once fit your life beautifully slowly stops fitting it. But because the change is incremental, people normalize it. Humans are remarkably adaptive, sometimes too adaptive. I've had clients tell me after moving, I didn't realize how stressed the old house was actually making us. That's powerful. Environment shapes psychology a lot more than people realize. This is especially true with larger or older homes throughout Northern Virginia. At some point, the homeowner stops owning the house and the house starts owning them. Every weekend becomes contractors, landscaping, maintenance, deferred projects, repairs, and stress. And people rationalize it because, well, at least we're building equity. Maybe. But equity is not the same thing as peace. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the 3% mortgage, because this is real. And if somebody is sitting on a 2.75%, 3%, 3.25% mortgage, or even 4%, I completely understand why moving feels very painful mathematically. This is what economists now call the rate lock-in effect. People feel handcuffed to historically cheap debt, and that's rational. But here's the danger. Sometimes people become so focused on preserving their mortgage rate that they stop evaluating the overall quality of their life. Eventually, you have to ask, is this mortgage serving our life, or is our life now serving the mortgage? That's a very different question. The biggest issue that I see right now is not bad decisions, it's paralysis. People freeze for years sometimes. And the longer that people wait, the emotionally heavier the move becomes. Because now the house is older, they're older, the repairs are bigger, the clutter is worse, and the emotional mountain has gotten taller. And intelligent people are especially vulnerable to this. Fear becomes dressed up as analysis. It sounds like this: we're just waiting for rates, or we're waiting for the market to stabilize, or maybe next spring, maybe. But sometimes maybe next spring quietly turns into 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. And meanwhile, life keeps happening. That's the part people forget. Now, let me say something important. Some people absolutely should stay. And I think saying that builds trust. Not everybody should move. If your home still supports your lifestyle, your maintenance feels manageable, your community matters deeply, your stress levels are healthy, and your financial life feels peaceful, there can be enormous wisdom in stability, especially if you're sitting on a fantastic mortgage. I tell some people, honestly, I do think you should wait. And I mean it. This should not be listing appointment pressure. It should be life strategy consultation. That's different. If you are wrestling with downsizing, upsizing, simplifying, relocating, aging in place decisions, or just trying to figure out what the next chapter should realistically look like, reach out early. Not for a listing appointment necessarily, for a consultation, for perspective, for strategy. Sometimes the most valuable thing is simply having a calm, intelligent conversation before things become urgent. At the end of the day, I think the healthiest housing decisions happen when people stop asking, what's the perfect market move? And start asking, what kind of life do we actually want? Your home should support your life. Your life should not become trapped serving your home forever. And sometimes the right answer is stay, renovate, simplify, downsize, relocate, or finally make the move you've emotionally circled for years. But whatever that answer is, I think clarity comes when people evaluate stress, energy, relationships, aging, lifestyle, peace, and emotional reality, not just spreadsheets. Life is happening now, not after rates drop, not after elections, not after the perfect market appears. Now. And the true cost of staying versus selling usually has far more to do with the quality of life than people initially realize. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment below. What's harder for you personally, the fear of moving or the fear of staying too long? And if you know someone quietly stuck in the mindset of maybe next year, share this video with them. A lot of people in Northern Virginia are wrestling with this exact conversation right now, even if they haven't said it out loud yet.